I'm ready for Battlefield. Make sure everything goes okay with going live. So that was Justin Fields. I looked him up. I was like, damn, it doesn't look like him. But that's who number 7 is for the Jets.
I think that's their main QB, right? Right out the gate, they were going with him.
Yeah, he's QB1. I would have taken him.
Football's back, man.
I would have taken the Mayfields at the Bakers too. Now he's beating us twice a year.
There it is.
The podcast is live.
Hey, man, at least somebody's believing in him. That's all that matters. And he's producing.
We just need somebody to believe in us.
I mean, I'm just glad they didn't put Penix out there. It's where he can get hurt.
Oh, like week 1, just ease him into it.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't really count Anthony Richardson because I think Anthony Richardson just doesn't want to be a Colt. So
you think that's what it comes down to?
I mean, he's out there throwing his body around all the time, not protecting himself. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
It seems like it. He got lit up the other day too.
Oh, yeah, where he jammed his finger. I was like, I think he's just trying to get out of there.
You see that finger? The finger was like, it's supposed to be north to south. That joker was east to west.
You know, you're going to shake his hand like 2 years later, the thing's not going to move.
God. Renee's here. What's up, Renee?
Renee.
They said, sup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 361 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and NFL preseason football podcast. That's right. Thought you were coming for games. You're going to hear about football also.
I don't know. He got me kind of excited about Madden 26 on the Switch too.
You sent me a video saying otherwise, so I don't think we're going to go that route until there's a... It looks good, right? Like, it looks like something that shouldn't be on a handheld, but...
You saw the video. They said they were impressed how good it looks. It's just they chose how good it looks versus performance. So hopefully there's a way to fix that, so...
Too long didn't read. Madden 26 on Switch 2 looks great. Performance is shoddy at best. Like real weird hitches and like frame rate plummets and stuff like that. I mean, they're putting it up next to like the base Xbox and PlayStation versions, which are locked 60.
It's the first year we had a Madden. How long? On Nintendo console. It's been almost like 13 years, right? I think that's what the video said.
It's the Wii U. We didn't get one since I think the one with Calvin Johnson was on it. Georgia's own Calvin Johnson, I believe was.
I'm super excited about FC 26, so I'm hoping they don't let me down on the Switch one. But I mean, they've been putting that on there for a while, so on the OG Switch, so I'm hoping this will be a smooth transition.
Yeah, but for a minute they had like the weird legacy version. Remember, you'd get like it was just a roster update. They didn't change anything in the engine. You just got like a...
It's the weird PS2, PS3 late year ones. Yeah.
Or the Wii version. You just knew you were getting the Wii version instead of the HD one everybody else got.
I don't know, man. It's the excitement's palpable. I'm happy about it, so... Because I'm considering day oneing it, so we'll see.
Some FIFA? You want to play some FIFA on Switch?
I'll be down for some football club.
I learned soccer rules playing FIFA. It's so much fun. Or whatever they call it now. We keep calling it FIFA. Does everybody else call it FIFA? Like still?
Club. Yeah.
It's football club, right? It's ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I learned NFL rules was playing what was it? NFL, not Street.
Blitz.
It was a Blitz. Not Blitz.
Extreme. Because
Extreme.
You showed me Extreme and I was like, wait, you got to try Blitz. Blitz rules are not football rules. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because NFL Extreme was just done by Sony, right? Was Sony the ones that made so? It's kind of like I keep forgetting they made the Spawn game for PlayStation 1 that sucked ass.
It was Extreme. So they made Extreme 1 and Extreme 2. There were actually 2 of those football games.
Yeah.
There used to be like 5 or 6 football games every year from different makers and 989 Studios and 2K.
We had NBA.
Sega Sports.
We had the NBA one for a while. Like NBA 06 and all that, remember? And then everybody just started 2K Visual Concepts does the best basketball, and we're not going to do it anymore. And then baseball went to Sony, and you remember 2K just kept trying to come back with baseball every so often, like every 3 or 4 years, and never took off. So
you and I were working retail when ESPN Football 2K 2K5 came out up against Madden 2005, and it was $20, and it was the better product. And those $20 SKUs were flying off the shelf, like a brand new game, $20. And people were buying the shit out of that version versus Madden. It's like, wait a minute, this one's pretty good. And then Madden locked down the NFL license, first party, and then baseball got locked down by 2K. But that was third party rights, I think. Like first party makers could still make those. So that's why Sony kept making the show, which was the better baseball game after a certain while. Like 2K was the leader on that one. And then the show has become the de facto premier baseball game.
Yeah, PS2 was before we get derailed and make this podcast last longer than it needs to be. I think
we're already doing it.
PS2 was a de facto sports console because remember we had college baseball, we had even head coach. Like they were doing like random ass stuff before they started integrating the main versions of like the sports based games.
College basketball, hockey, 3 different hockey makers, including Hits, NHL Hits, which is a good game. That
generation, man, nothing. It's good times, man. I miss that stuff sometimes.
I do too. It's a lot of variety. We got all sorts of stuff. Surprises. We were surprised by things.
NFL head coach. Call the plays.
That would be fun to stream, wouldn't it? With the headset calling the plays in. Brant, do you remember this one? I sold this shit.
Every day.
You remember this one?
I do.
And then I think this was a PS2 and PS3 game. There's like an MLB front office manager. Like you drafted people and raised them up through the minor leagues and traded them. And it was like a deep sim. I mean, Europe's had football sims for like Football Manager, like soccer, trying to raise your team up from the lower divisions and things like that. Get them into European football and things like that. Those have been the formulas there. They're successful. These sims. It's just a sim. This is episode 361. If you have a successful product called 360, I guess you have to follow it up with 361. Tonight's news: THQ Nordic Showcase. Rhythm games are coming back? ? Bungie losing its independence. Hopefully they'll fix Call of Duty. Nintendo Indie World Showcase. I forgot that even occurred. August Game Pass games. We will tell you what those are. Hopefully Megan Spur is going to break those down for us. And last but not least, new cartridge sizes. ? I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up?
Brant, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
Brant, you're not a huge sports aficionado. I think everybody listening knows
sports,
that.
Man.
Go sports.
Yeah, go sports.
But has there been a sports game like throughout the years that you've just like a random Mario Golf or a Mario Tennis or something like that you've just gone crazy for? No, I'm not saying it has to be a Mario sports game, but those are just
typically it would be the Mario sports titles. I mean, every now and then you'd go over to a friend's house and you'd have like the Blitz or Madden or something like that. So
yeah,
get wrangled into playing those. But
I've always preferred the arcade style ones too.
Like, I like the more arcadey.
Mm-hmm. Big head mode and like late hits and just chaos that ensues. Also here, Cesar Concepcion II, our resident lore master, soundboard mixer, and, as we recently found out, clubber aficionado. That's right, he's visiting your club. He's all up in your warehouse. That was a good sound effect. We cannot hear you, sir. That was a great sound effect. It was the Mario 1-up, but it was like 100.
I'm just acquiring them like Infinity Stones.
How many more can you get? How many more will go in there?
We got the full East Coast set, more than likely. I mean, there's got to be some regional ones out there, maybe some. Yeah.
So the first one I ever remember going to was Pace. Do you remember Pace up off of Frontage Road in Forest Park?
Seems familiar.
Pace was a big wholesale club store like a Sam's Club or a Costco or the J's of the B's. We'll put it in that order for this, the context of this here quality video game entertainment streaming program.
Look, all I know is I've been sending Richard videos of Costco's in Japan with their various food menu options.
Oh,
and I'm happy with our hot dogs and Cokes, and they're spoiled. It's just nonstop greatness over there.
Like a bucket full of chicken nugget based stuff. I was like, what?
What was it? A chicken
good.
bucket? It looked amazing.
Yeah. What was the soup?
It looked lightly breaded too, and clam chowder, fucking clam chowder at the Costco.
We must have watched. Yeah, we must have watched the same video because I literally saw that a couple hours ago.
That shit was so good. Everything looked so good.
Ridiculous.
We have hot dogs and pizza and pretzels and giant ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies, which are good. Those are very delicious.
Chicken bakes.
Yeah, my youngest child likes to get the it's like a tomato basil turkey sandwich, like over is it ciabatta bread? I don't know.
Ciabatta.
Yeah. We all eat for like, if we eat the pizza and hot dog and all that, we can all eat for like $8. This sandwich alone is like $8.50 or $9. I'm like, what are you doing here? We're at Costco. Why are you buying this? Why are you buying this $9 sandwich? You're doubling our entire food budget here. Good way to eat for cheap. Let's get through some of this news. We are all itching to play Battlefield. The Battlefield open beta is open and available. And we're going to be joining some friends, I believe. I know Buish is going to get on there, but we're going to be joining some friends after the show. So don't leave us after this recording if you can tolerate more than, 2-ish hours of us, an hour and a half of us. And join us for some battle. We can stream Battlefield, right? It's not, there's no NDA against the stream.
So it's an open beta.
We
can't stream it?
I don't know.
I might have spoken too soon. We're going to find out.
I don't know.
Let's get in the news. Somebody will look it up. We'll let you know. We will not let you, as the Cranberries put it, we'll not make you linger. And
it's technically correct. I don't know if I want to do it under my account, though, because I got other betas that I have access to, or alphas, that I don't want to take a chance.
Don't stream those. I can do it.
They banned my account, man. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Are there other people on Twitch streaming Battlefield 6 beta? We're just saying it's not worth the ban.
I've seen some VTubers doing it on YouTube. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if not, we don't have to stream. We're doing our episode tonight, so we don't have to stream that content. We were supposed to do another get together last weekend that would not have been streamed, but I gotta ask you guys how that played out. I was incapacitated. I heard some feedback from Buish, but I don't know if you are able to try to get it to connect or not. We'll kick that around to games played. Let's get into this news. There was a THQ Nordic showcase. Maybe we just run through this. This comes from Fraser Gilbert at Pure Xbox. A lot of titles. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide, which is going to come out November 18th, 2025. Recreation. Finally. Recreation, which is also 2025, no date. Tides of Tomorrow, February 24th, 2026. I have no clue what that is. Did y'all see what that is? Tides of Tomorrow. Every choice leaves a mark. Follow in the steps of a friend, a streamer, or a total stranger and live the impacts of their decisions through your own story. And yes, you can play solo thanks to our offline journeys available at launch. I don't know. I didn't see this bit. Sacred 2 is getting a remaster. If I remember that right, that's kind of like a action hack and slash, kind of like a Diablo type thing.
Diablo Jason's a looter. Yeah.
It was on PS2 PS3 at 360, right?
I like Sacred a lot.
So that Tides of Tomorrow was made by the makers of the Road 96 game.
Oh, okay.
That came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, highly rated. Love Road 96. Next up was The Eternal Life of Goldman. Can Fairy Tales Hurt? In this breathtaking platform adventure, explore a vast, hand-drawn archipelago inspired by ancient fables and depicted in classic frame-by-frame animation and defeat a mysterious deity.
This is the one we've seen before. It's the old man with the stick platformer. That kind of reminds us of the old DuckTale. Yeah.
Yeah. Or more recently, I just drew a blank. It's Yacht Club Games or something like that.
Oh, you're thinking
Shovel
of
Knight. Yeah,
Mhm.
Shovel Knight. I could picture him and everything, but all I could see on the box was like the studio. Is that a retro game? Are we in the
Retro inspired.
No, are we in the era now where that's a retro game? Is it? It's 2 generations back. It was on
It
the
was
Wii
3DS,
U.
Probably
right?
close.
It was on the Wii U. It was on the
Ooh,
3DS.
it is on the 3DS.
It was
Two
10
gener-
years. I think 10 years is the
10
argument,
years
right? They
and
said 10 years. Yeah.
2 generations.
Technically,
Retro
I guess it
game.
could be considered.
I don't know. Generations are like 7 years now, so it's
Yeah.
right to question it.
I like the two back, right? 2 platforms back, or is it readily available? But I think Steam kind of took the wind out of those sails, and thankfully backward compatibility, right? So stuff that you bought on Xbox One or PS4, you still have access to.
Is Dishonored PS3 retro game?
It's an
Yeah.
partially unplayable game, I would say.
Sure.
Right. Rich is like, no,
preferred
it
way,
has to be a playable game for it to be retro.
I will one day stream. The PS3 is hooked up. I will one day stream Dishonored for PS3. I'll play through that version specifically of that game.
That way people know what the hell we're talking about.
Ugh. In more ways than one. Gothic 1 is getting a remake. That's coming out early 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles.
Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. That was announced last year, right? This is like a date, right?
Yeah. Because they'd already talked about that. I remember it.
However,
The next
like
one's a
you said,
surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next
Yeah,
one's
the
a
next
surprise.
one's a surprise.
but wait, there's more. Gothic Classic console announcement trailer. For the first time, Gothic 1, 2, and 3 will be available on consoles with updated controls and full gamepad support. Whether you were revisiting the colony or discovering Myrtana for the first time, it's the perfect time to re-experience the world of Gothic. I've never played a Gothic game.
It's like they're like Elder Scrolls adjacent, right?
Mm-hmm. I got on that kick of like seeing what else. Bethesda can't have just totally defined this whole genre with this nonsense. What else is similar to these? And Gothic always came up. Gothic and Risen. Have y'all played Risen on anything?
Yeah, Risen's pretty good too.
Yeah. They remastered the first one for PS4 and Xbox One, and then there's like a second and third one. There's like PS2, PS2. I keep saying PS2. It's like PS3, 360 generation. And
I like you some PS2. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I love me some PS2. It's on the brain. I think we're talking sports games, and it's just stuck there. Yeah. PS2 on the brain. Not a bad place to be. And it's on. Mine's in standby mode. I'm looking at it. The red light's shining at me.
It wants you back.
It always does. It's beckoning me. Next up is Reanimal. What Happens After the Flood? Reanimal is the new game by Tarsier Studios. The original creators of Little Nightmares 1 and Little Nightmares 2. All right.
Yeah, that's why they're not doing the 3.
I guess. Because they're working on this. Last but not least, we have Darksiders 4, which is an announcement teaser. Did you watch the THQ Nordic 2025 showcase? What was your favorite part? Let us know below, says PureXbox.com. Thank you. Darksiders 4 is coming.
And so began my quest to acquire all the available Darksiders games I did not have. That just happened to be on sale at that time.
Across what platforms? Just various platforms?
Yeah, I think the only ones I did not have left was Steam. That was it. For whatever reason, I was missing 1 and 2 on Steam. And then they happened to have that sale. It was like $6 or something like that. Complete the bundle sale.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and did it. And I think that it also included the original one before it got the remaster. So you got both
remastered.
Yeah. War Mastered, or what do you want to call it?
I think it was War Mastered. And then Darksiders 2 was famously Definitive Edition for the second one. I think I have all of them on PS4 except for that first remaster. Or War Mastered. That's the one I'm missing. I started the first one on Steam Deck not that long ago, and it was playable, so it may be very.
I played a little bit on Steam Deck recently. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
And then I went and looked at like you always play games in like a release order, right? That's just the way they're tended to be. Because then if you go to chronological, it gets messy.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how messy that game was chronologically, because it's like Darksiders Genesis, you play that, then you play Darksiders 1 until the part where you pass out, and then you play Darksiders 2, and then you play Darksiders 3 and complete that. Then you go back to Darksiders 1.
Oh God.
And that's where the story continues chronologically before you head off into Darksiders 4. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play this in release order and I'll figure it out. Because like it's the same thing with like Borderlands. It's like everybody's like, you play pre-sequel first, and they're like, you're really gonna hate Borderlands 1 when you get done with pre-sequel, because it plays way different. So always do it in release order.
Yeah. Some of the magic of like a Metal Gear Solid 3 would be lost if you led with that one, right? If you led with Snake Eater.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good advice. Always go in release order. I've looked up stuff like that recently. Like, what's the best way to play these? And it's always play in release order. Don't mess around with that timeline junk.
It's always one guy like, yeah, I want to do the chronological order. And I was like,
I honestly didn't know Darksiders was like this. I didn't know it bounced around like that.
I didn't either until I looked it up, because I think that happened too when it was an anime, and I won't stay on it too long. But yeah, Horimiya, where like they did a second season, but they butchered the first season because they cut out a lot of stuff, and then the second season they did was like a plus, and so they went back and did the other stories, and they were like, somebody's like, all right, you want to watch this in proper chronological order? Watch episode 1, pause up the 10 minutes in, then you go episode 1 of season 2 and watch that. And I'm looking at this little convoluted timeline about how you had to divide 13 episodes between 2 seasons to watch. I was like, dude, just read the manga at that point. Just read the manga. I was like, what are we doing here? Because it's like, you want to follow the manga, you gotta pause at certain times, and then there's an episode you got to watch for 5 minutes and then jump back to the previous season and watch the rest. And I'm like, what the freak is happening here? I never watched the second season because I was like, this is crazy to me. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. You know what? I'm good.
You know, there's that cut on I think it was only ever officially released on VHS. There's a cut of The Godfather, the first 2 films. The second movie is a lot of flashbacks to Don Vito as a youngster. So it's Robert De Niro playing the character that Marlon Brando had played in the previous film, and it's interwoven with Michael's continuing journey as the current day Godfather as of the movie, I guess. And there's a cut where they do Robert De Niro's Don Vito, and then they do The Godfather 1, and then they do The Godfather 2 without the flashback sequences. And I think that's only ever been released on VHS in that order. Like they used to play it on TNT or
it's a beautiful TV cut thing.
USA,
you're like, special TV cut. Yeah. Like,
which preservation wise, and we're not going to get on the soapbox again, but like that's what we're saying. Like there's an interest in a fandom for that type of storytelling order, right? As a director might have intended, or as the story might be viewed to do that. But 10 minutes in, pausing it, and I've never heard of a game. Yeah, when you pass out in Darksiders 1, fire up Genesis. I don't know about that.
Yeah, you had to play Darksiders 2 is what they said. And I'm like, then once you beat everything else after that, they were like, once you beat everything else, then you go back to Darksiders 1. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That would be hilarious if games were like that. Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. If you really want to experience like Uncharted, you play the first 2 chapters of Uncharted 2, then you jump to Uncharted 1, play the whole game, then jump to Uncharted 3, play the first chapter of that.
Careful, Brant. Careful, Brant. Somebody will hear that and jump onto this subscription model.
And
it's
the
the equivalent of popping quarters in. You're out of continues. You got to pop quarters in to get that chapter of Uncharted 1 to fill in the blank.
Right. And what's crazy is The Last of Us 2 has a mode where you play it chronologically because it's done out of order chronologically. So now they did an update recently where it's like, oh, now you can do it in chronological order, like in a series of flashbacks instead of you just playing the game it was originally intended to be done. Now you can just go back and play it in the correct order and not have to worry about flashback to this, flashback to that. So like that was like the latest update earlier this year for that before they did the complete nonsense. So.
Like everything's out all at once.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Genesis is, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the Diablo-like one too, right? Are we just talking about Diablo type action adventure clones in this episode?
That was a 2-player one that me and you have tried to at some point start to play together, and it just never came to fruition. So
I mean, now we know that is that the one to start with? Now we know that's the one we actually need to play. Oh, all right. That was your THQ Nordic show. Next story. This comes from Tom Ivan at VGC VideoGamesChronicle.com. Guitar Hero veterans form rhythm game development studio Red Octane Games. Red Octane, that sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
That was the logo on the back of the guitar we used to buy back in the day, right? It's who made the peripherals. Studio's first title will be revealed later in 2025. I'm not going to read this whole thing. The gist of it is that it's going to be very much like Guitar Hero, right? But not called Guitar Hero.
Going to involve guitars, but that's all they said. It's like obviously it's going to involve guitars, but it's not going to be a retread of what they've done before. It's like I guess is what they're hitting at. So
they'll add some sort of twist on it. Quote, rhythm games are about more than just gameplay. They're about feel, flow, and connection to the music and to each other, said studio head Ebeher. Red Octane Games is our way of giving back to a genre that means so much to us while pushing it forward in a new and exciting direction. I'm all for this. I think these rhythm action music games need to come back.
You had Epic Games got killed off by Epic Games. Harmonix got killed off by Epic Games.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And these guys got absorbed by the the Activision Call of Duty machine back in the day. Sure, you're good at this. Let's put you on the next Tony Hawk game. Hopefully, we see some good stuff from Red Octane Games. We definitely need that breath of fresh air. Like, there has to be some sort of... We talk about the AA space and things like that, but it's just... What we really crave is the variety of stuff that we used to get, right? We were just talking about all the different sports games that we got. It's just variety. Choice.
Everything's so costly now that nobody can do that. All hardware is the same. You know, the cost of gaming has gone up. So, Missile's hardware differences have made different experiences, right? So,
and really, the only thing that's changed is how you get to those games. That's what's defining how these things are different. If you buy it on PC, you've got a multitude of different things. If you buy it on Xbox, everything's an Xbox, and now they're going to have a new handheld. If you buy it on PlayStation, you're going to be able to play it on 4 and 5 and remote play and a portal. And I think it's how you get to these games is what they're defining. So maybe that's what Red Octane has to figure out as far as what their platform looks like. Hopefully it's not a mobile thing. Hopefully we get the full, all right, how long's it been?
Experience?
Yeah. It's been 20 years, like retail presence and all that. It's been 20 years since Guitar Hero basically took over everything, and plastic instrument peripherals were everywhere. Are we in that realm of disposable income for the people who grew up with Guitar Hero and they're wanting to? Not quite, Cesar says. Brent says maybe.
We're
not in this economy.
We're almost
not with these
there.
tariffs.
Yeah.
Not with these nitrogen filled
tires.
Yeah,
I'd say with the tariffs, it'll be harder for sure.
Unless we get our plastic peripherals made here. Plastic peripherals.
Your episode title.
Plastic peripherals. That should be
Parastic.
Parastic materials. Next up, Sony CFO says Marathon is expected to release before March, and Bungie's independence is, quote, getting lighter. We're now fixing the problem, so we believe this launch will happen, says Chris Scullion at VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com. I got to side rail us for a minute. Somebody was bitching about, on Reddit, you like that introduction? Somebody was bitching about, they were comparing, for some reason I was reading this thread, comparing Wipeout and F-Zero, as if we need to say one of these things is better than the other thing, right?
I love the internet today. We could be playing these games but we're just gonna argue about bullshit. I love it. So stupid.
Fans of games have been begging for a new iteration in either one of these franchises. For you don't have the problems we have. We've been starved for new content in these franchises for 20 years, and you're bitching about which one's better and which one's not. But basically the gist of this person's argument was somebody didn't like how Wipeout has the different it's like Phazon clan, or I don't know what they call them, but there's like these different corporations or whatever that build the ships. Like you can tell looking at the ship based off of who made it pretty much across the entire series of Wipeout games. So if you play the one for PSP, if you play a PS2 one, if you play one of the PS1 ones, you can tell like the shape of the ship and the design and all that. But they put a lot into how these looked and the aesthetics of them and the color scheme and all that sort of stuff. And somebody was saying, I wish I knew exactly what that aesthetics and designs and logo. I love all that sort of stuff. But whatever phrase they used, they were like, that's timeless. It's got a great look to it. Those games still look good. You could still tell what they were going for with that art design and all that sort of stuff. And they said,
like the word you're trying to find is like kind of like Tron, how Tron never really ages badly.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I could still watch the 1980s version one and just with the light cycles and it's unique.
Yeah.
Well,
and they went
even
for
though the
like
CG's old, but
exactly
at the time.
And they went for a unifying design that worked across all those games, even though they had like, it wasn't Psygnosis the whole time. Like they started bringing in other people and they became Studio Liverpool, right? So that you're always going to have like a changeover of staff and all that. But the comment was Bungie's Marathon stole that same like aesthetic design across how that game looks, like the shooter, the characters you have, like it kind of has that sterile industrial look, but that's what they were going for. That's what the design was. And then the next comment was like, not Bungie's design, but whoever they stole it from. You remember that? The stolen asset stuff. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, they brought that fully home.
Yeah, I think at that point, it's like you're saying there is like they kind of like it's bad looks nonstop. Game, yeah. You know, you give them freedom to do stuff and then just keep dropping the ball here and there. And you have old studio heads that kind of do questionable ethics. And it's just like, it's really weird over there, you know? And I don't know who's left originally from Bungie. You know, most of those guys got fired for inappropriately talking to somebody, texting coworkers or just making bad business decisions, you know, with their stock options. So.
Right. Or buying luxury sports cars. Sony's chief financial officer said she expects Marathon to release by the end of March 2026. In a QA session following the company's latest financial results, Sony's execs were asked about the current state of Marathon, whether it factored into Sony's forecast for the current fiscal year, which, Cesar, I think you've already touched on this. We know that Sony's is Ghost of Yotai, I think, is the last big first-party title for the rest of this year. And it's just August. It's August 9th as of this recording. So now recording. We're halfway through the year, and that's your big flagpole title for the year. But they're still selling shit tons of PS5, so what do we know? Sony CFO Lin Tao responded by saying Marathon is planned to release within the current fiscal year, ending March 31st, 2026. Quote, first, about Marathon, how we factor in the forecast. We expect the launch to happen within the fiscal year. She replied via an interpreter. But having said that, this is not a commitment. No official announcement has been given yet. It's a whole bunch of other quotes and corporate speak. Is there anything else that we can gather from this?
The biggest thing was like with regards to Bungie, she reiterated Sony's decision to take more control over studio management, with the eventual aim being to completely integrate them into PlayStation Studios.
That is the big takeaway, right?
Yeah. There was a whole big bunch of news. This was one of the big things, along with Sony's senior vice president talking about how they plan to shift a lot of their business more from hardware centric into more of a community and engagement based business model, which a lot of people took that as like, they're gonna stop making PlayStations and this, that, and the other. But people forget that a lot of the time Sony makes a lot of shit. They make cameras, they make headsets, they make monitors, TVs. They used to make the Vio. But I don't think that they're gonna stop making PlayStations anytime soon. They've had some very, very good numbers within the past few years here, especially in their gaming business. But like we've talked about, and I know Cesar's reiterated and brought us more information about how Sony's branching out a lot more into entertainment. And so, like, we've seen them do a lot more movies. We've seen them do these deals to get these little, TV shows and things like that. So they've got The Last of Us out there. They've got Twisted Metal out there. They did Uncharted, and they've now been signing deals left and right for manga and
Arakawa,
anime.
Namco, Bandai for their anime. I think to add on what Brant's saying here, and I don't want to talk over him, but I think they're moving forward to IP creation, right? They want to create IPs where they can market it. A lot of that is being misconstrued. Nobody knows exactly what that means because, as Brant alluded to, they're going based off MAUs, monthly active users, which is what Xbox started doing after, they were like, all right, we can't win the console sell race, so we're just going to worry about keeping our community people happy and keep them spinning in our ecosystem, which would help with revenue, and it has, right? So, and some of those things subscriptions have, and so they've moved over to that, and I think part of that is what like Brand has alluded to here, and Richard said over here that there's not many first-party games coming out this generation, and it doesn't sound like there's going to be. You're going to be lucky if you're going to get one or two a year. I think we said there's going to be at least one a year. So I think at that point, you're going to see more of those. I think they're working a lot with the China Hero Project, where they get a lot of these China-based games coming out over here, exclusively on there and PC. And so, I mean, and we know they're pivot to putting games on other platforms. So we know Helldivers is coming to Xbox this year. At this point, I think it's ill mute because I think you already have PlayStation Studios on PC, and we know it's the worst kept secret that the next generation Xboxes are going to be able to, in some capacities, can play PC-based games. So I think at that point, those games are going to come to those PlayStation games will be playable on the new Xboxes, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So at that point, I think what I see happens, and I think Richard has alluded to this before, not on here, but as a comment before in chat, where how the movie studios kind of just have it figured out. I think they're going to go more to that movie-based platform where you have Sony. I mean, I think I can truly see Sony coming with an exclusive launcher for the PC, right? So they can get their full cut. It's going to piss people who love Steam, but they'll do it like the movie theater stuff, right? So you're going to have like 6 months console, and then 6 months PC from their launcher, and then it goes to Steam. And then it goes to other platforms, right? And I think that's where they make their money off their movie studios. And I totally see them going that route at some point, So
I think they also go to a model where almost like Metroid Prime Remastered did, where we get a digital copy on a launch day or whatever, and then the physical stuff comes down the road for the enthusiast. Most people are just going to go see Kung Fu Panda 4. Not a lot of people are going to buy the copy to keep it home, or they're going to stream it on whatever platform it comes on.
Well, that's the one thing, as Richard said, that's the one thing we're missing, because there is a company called Groove, Groove, GRUV, and it's a joint venture between Universal Studios and Warner Brothers. And they are direct-to-consumer when they make their physical media for movies. Because at that point, it doesn't really matter, right? Because you have Best Buy to stop selling Blu-rays and DVDs. You have Target that's going that direction. So that was your fear when you had a direct-to-consumer. It's not like Sony's Columbia House CDs like we got in the 90s, where they forced you to buy 15 CDs at $30 a pop, where people were like, they're still going to come to Blockbuster Music to buy our stuff. We don't have to worry about it because they're charging like suggested retail price for like your deal to get 10 CDs for $5.
Right.
But at this point, like that competition, like at some point, physical gaming media is going to stop being sold in retail outlets. And at that point, you're going to have more people like Super Rare Games, East Asia Soft, Limited Run. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the big three companies get together and like, all right, we'll have equal ownership in a physical media based company, and we'll just print out certain copies that are complete, for the enthusiasts. Kind of like the Criterion collections we get now, or the Arrowhead, the Arrow releases.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything we get 4K base now, or it's like the best version, right? It's like it's always Arrow, it's always Shout Factory, they do as much as they can to put on those versions of those games instead of just like the Universal ones where they stop with the special features. They just poop the movie out. Here's your digital code.
Yeah.
And you're done, right? So.
But to me, that's even crazier because we talk about all that, but didn't Sony just like get in trouble because there was some lawsuit or something based solely on the fact that Sony was driving people to their digital storefront, where the main example being like you can go to a physical store and you can buy either the game for your PlayStation, Xbox, your Switch, or they have those cards up there where you can buy a code card for Pokemon or whatever game off Xbox or whatever. But if you've noticed, PlayStation doesn't do that anymore. You can buy like the point cards or the value cards to technically add money to your PlayStation wallet, but those code cards for games are no longer existent, and I feel like it was very.
I didn't know that was a thing. Still,
Brant's absolutely correct. So essentially, what happened is that remember Sony used to offer when the PlayStation 3 days, they used to like, you can buy the full version of the digital copy of Uncharted 2 off of Amazon. You don't have to buy it from the PlayStation Store. And then within recent years and the PS4 one, they pulled all that back. They pulled all that off other digital storefronts, and it's like you have to buy points cards. You have to buy it from us. And somebody in the UK, which UK is very consumer friendly, launched a lawsuit saying that it's a monopoly because they're forcing us to buy from this one. It's kind of like the Apple method, right? It's like you really can't buy Apple applications off of other storefronts.
Right.
They just control everything. Xbox, you can still buy digital copies of like Mafia Old Country off of Amazon and to download it on your Xbox. You don't have to buy it from the Microsoft Store.
You'll find the little tag hanging at Kroger or something like that for like big titles, like a Forza or something.
Yeah, even on other digital storefronts, right? It's not forcing you to get on there. So I think like as Brant had said, Sony had gotten into trouble. Someone was trying to do a lawsuit like, hey, they're monopolizing, like they're forcing us to buy from this store. The same stuff that Apple's going through right now with Epic. And so that is something that's still ongoing. I think litigation-wise, it hasn't been decided. I just know it's another one of those weird major lawsuits that they've been thrown against. So
is that Fair Play or one of those? I think we call them lobbyist groups here. I don't know what they're called over there. I looked up in the interim. I looked up that that thing, the design thing I was trying to come up with Wipeout. And according to Google, a collaboration with the Designers Republic. So the iconic graphic design and branding, including typography and logos, were created by the renowned Sheffield-based agency, the Designers Republic. So they actually partnered with somebody for those Wipeout ship designs and stuff like that.
I mean, they actually credited them?
Are. Yeah. So they actually
crazy, right?
Maybe they did the marathon stuff too.
Like you did an awesome job with this. Let me
feed this to
hire you or license it from you, I saw it in a dream somewhere. I swear it's like those people when they do the copyright for music. I've always known that tune.
No, mine's different. It goes do 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 do.
Not do 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 do.
Every time I hear that, I always think of pressure. I don't ever think of Vanilla Ice. So
never Ice Ice Baby.
Nope, never.
What about Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go?
My favorite. Do 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 do.
But speaking of people who also are stingy about their putting people on their credits, Nintendo did have an indie.
Hell of a segue.
So it was at the end of this past week.
Yeah, I totally
but
missed
they did have a little bite-sized presentation. I want to say it was like 24 or 25 minutes, but there's some decent stuff in here.
Okay.
Switch 1 and Switch 2. Started off with Mina the Hollower coming October 31st for Switch 1 and Switch 2. This is the Yacht Club second mention of Yacht Club games. This is their latest game. It's already got a demo for out right now, and it does support 120 frames for Switch 2.
Oh,
So this one might be worth checking out there.
interesting.
So everybody remembers from our previous podcast, it's only available in handheld mode, I believe, right? No, the VR is available in the handheld. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
I'm getting myself mixed up.
Next up is Well Dweller. This is a Castlevania, Metroidvania style game. You play as Glimmer, a tiny bird armed with a matchstick who must burn the Wicked Queen to save his family before they become part of her royal grow.
Fucking matchstick. This is a Wish game.
Befriend the charming characters who reside in the kingdom's underbelly and reunite all your sheltered siblings.
I have some sheltered
snatched
siblings.
from the nest one night in a turn of events that lead to the coming of an unlikely hero.
Well Dweller.
Next up was Neverway, coming to Switch 1 2026. After quitting her dead-end job, Fiona starts on a farm and becomes the immortal herald of a dead god. Make friends, fight through horrors, and pay off your debts in Neverway, a nightmarish light sim RPG.
Yeah, man, nightmare.
I have not heard of this one.
Hurdling.
It's an Olympic sport.
August 21st. But this is about herding. So you're doing just that. You're herding, I guess, different animals and things like that.
That was the worst part of Twilight Princess. They made a whole game about it. That part sucked.
Somebody was super happy about that part. They're like, fuck yeah, I'm making a game out of this.
Yeah.
Shadow dropped during the direct was a game called Is This Seat Taken?
Oh, from Forrest Gump.
It's a Switch one game. It's a game where you have to decide what the best place is for all these characters to sit in different scenarios.
Looks like the people from Snipper Clips.
They do kind of look like
they got the little boots and the geometric shapes.
It has my worst rated descriptor ever. As soon as I hear the word cozy, I'm out. And
cozy kills it for you? You hate cozy games? You want tense? You want rough?
I want tense,
uncomfortable?
Horrible, uncomfortable, yeah.
Nightmarish.
Gruff, gravelly.
Cozy games.
Little Kitty Big City is getting an update, the Picture Perfect update, coming later this year, 2025 for Switch 1.
Did you buy this for Switch, or did you play it on? I think you played this on something, didn't you?
I haven't played it yet. I do have it for Switch. I bought it physically from Fan Gamer, I think it was. They have the physical copies. This update includes new characters, new character customizations, and a new photo mode. Then next up was content warning for Switch 1 and Switch 2 coming next year, 2026.
Cover your ears.
Content warning is a game that it's already exists. You can get it on PC. It's a interesting looking game. Basically, you can take up to 4 players. It's semi horror themed, where you're
holy shit.
Somebody takes a camera. You have a limited amount of film. You're supposed to get.
This looks interesting.
Yeah.
It looks hilarious. The amount of hijinks you can get up to is ridiculous. There's some weird monsters, some I
just watched
blender heads, and
I watched somebody with egg beaters for eyes go after somebody.
Yes.
It's like
there's and basically the goal is to get decent footage. At least one person get the camera back to home base and then upload it, and y'all watch, your views and see
if you
see how well you score.
See how well you score.
Dude, Richard's an understatement because every time I watch streamers play it, is always funny because like those monsters always go after one person and everybody's laughing because like this guy's like, get him off of me, somebody help me, and everybody's just laughing because it's like
after one person.
It always aggroes on one person.
It sounds like me. He only sees me. He only sees me. Yeah. What is this out on?
Obviously, it's
PC
on Steam
right now.
Yeah.
Should we get it for that and stream it from that, or should we try to wait for it to come out on Switch?
Or we can wait on Switch, and then we can get other friends of the show on here. I mean, we can do like Repo, which is not on anything else. Repo's also like that too. So
do the game chat with the cameras and stuff. Our fourth individual now has a working camera. That Logitech Brio camera is confirmed to work for the Switch 2.
Will he use it?
We'll force them to use it. See their smiling face. Vision.
Next up was Ball Pit coming October the 15th for Switch 1. And it says this fall to Switch 2. I was under the impression October was part of fall, but I'm guessing it's later in the fall.
Autumn.
It's a roguelite.
It's close to your favorite time of Christmas.
Oh, this was a Steam not early access, but what do they call those, like Demo Fest games? Everybody was talking about this one.
It's a roguelike, kind of like Breakout style game. Looks kind of interesting.
The footage on here looks like those weird, cheap, like iOS, Android game ads that you see where you're just trying to take down these things, but there's like deck building and all that sort of stuff with this game.
Next up after that was Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, coming winter 2025 for Switch 1 and
You're
Switch
just
2. That's
making these things up, Brant, as you go. I appreciate it, though.
More of the from the same.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the successor to Ultimate. What is it? Horse chicken horse, something like that. Glacier.
Wait for Richard to go like, I like chicken, I like horses.
I like raccoons, I like sheep.
Sounds like the game for me.
Coming holiday 2025.
Glacier,
Earth,
what is this?
65 million years into the future. You play as like this weird, like that looks like a winged creature, but it's an underwater game. It looks kind of interesting. It's definitely different.
I think it was made by a Japanese team in Hikado.
Yeah,
I think that they wanted to make a game because it's Hikado. It's Hokkaido, which is like the most southern. It's the most northern part of Japan. Yeah. It's like it's the winter. The winter theirs are very brutal. Okay. So I think they're trying to recreate that environment in the water, where it's like you got brutally cold waters. Yeah. So they use their environment as an inspiration to make this game. I think that's what they said on the Indie Direct. So.
It looks good. I just can't tell what's happening.
I don't know if they explain it. They just kind of give the background of why they're making it. Yeah. There's no lead in there. So
aquatic action. Yeah. That looks good.
Next up was the Winter Burrow. Coming winter 2025 to Switch 1.
I was waiting for Richard to say something about Redfall.
Winter and
Redwall, not Redfall. Redfall's the garbage game.
Childhood Burrow.
I said what I said.
It says cozy, Brant. Brant's trying to get to this news. Brant, it says Winter Burrow's cozy. I gotta add that in there.
No,
Brant's
cozy.
Brant's out if it says cozy.
Immediately out. Undusted Letters from the Past, coming October 2025.
Is a cozy and heartfelt cleaning game.
Oh,
cozy, Brant.
This is a drinking game. This is how we get Brant to drink alcohol. Every time we say cozy, he takes a shot.
Yes. Yes.
This is gonna have bad news for the next game because it's also maybe
bad news, Brant.
Tiny bookshop. It was a shadow drop available for Switch 1.
Open a cozy bookshop by the sea.
Make sure that you leave everything behind and open a cozy bookshop by the sea.
How can a bookshop by the sea be cozy? I'll be stressed.
There's cozy. I mean,
all the humidity.
Brant will
Yeah.
be dead drunk. There's at least cozy a
Wreak
couple more
havoc on
times
those
in
books.
here.
Brant, you're getting torched.
Oh, is
Oh,
this
yeah.
Cave of Quid?
This one doesn't have cozy. The next one does.
2025. Science fantasy roguelike epic adventure. Let's see, and then we had a Strange Antiquities coming September 17th, 2025.
Serve patrons
This is
in
a
your
Switch-
what shop?
Oh! No, serve patrons in your cozy shop. Explore a quaint town and uncover dark secrets.
Who's making all these cozy
No.
games?
Why is every indie game cozy now?
Brant, pull the plug on the cozy games.
Opus Prism
Cozyverse.
Peak Fall 2025 coming.
Brant, you're not gonna make it. You're too drunk. You're not gonna make it through this story.
Switch 1 and 2. Oh, please tell me there's no cozy in here.
I'm looking. That's all I'm scanning for.
Yeah, that's all it's easy. I'm just like Where's Waldo, but we're just looking for cozy.
Yeah.
You are a wary
Control F,
middle-aged photojournalist who has left behind city life, only to find yourself stranded in an ethereal mountain inhabited by spirits. And the only way home lies behind the lens of your old camera.
Ghost and cameras. That game mechanic has never been done before. Very unique.
No, I don't think
Never heard of it. Yeah, it's weird.
Any kind of games that use cameras and ghosts. So it's very unique.
Very obscure.
Go Town Spring 2026 for Switch 1.
Looks cozy.
As Mirror, it is your job to help renovate
cozy.
a
I like it.
rundown and busy town, build shops,
I like
attract
it.
tourists, hire staff, and more. Last but not least, this was another shadow drop, UFO 50.
That's cool.
There's a lot of buzz about this one.
Yeah, this was a big hit last year. I'm surprised this wasn't on Switch.
It is now.
Yeah, it is now, and I think isn't there a physical that was announced
Next year? You're right. February of next year from Fangamer. I think pre-orders are live now. It's like $34.99 and then like $60 for the plush toy or something like that.
Yeah,
with it.
Is it cozy? Is the plush toy cozy?
Looks cozy.
As the name suggests, the UFO 50 is a compilation of 50 single and multiplayer games that span a variety of genres: platformers, shooters, or shoot 'em ups, puzzle games, roguelites, RPGs, and everything I've seen on this game, because this game has been out on PC for a minute now.
Yeah.
A lot of people rave about this one, so.
They're not like approximations of games from this era. They're like full-blown titles.
Oh, yeah.
It's 50 full-blown games. There were some Japanese exclusive announcements. Did you watch that show, Cesar? Holy shit.
Yeah,
like
I think one of
5
them we're
extra
getting
games.
in September. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they came out and said, I mean, it was just a drop announcement. I forgot, what was it called? Demon School. I think it's coming on PS5, PS4, Switch 2.
Yeah, Demon School.
Series consoles in September. And I think that was the one that was kind of like a Persona-esque game, like the old school Persona RPG type thing. With the long, stocky characters, not like the before it became the stylish beast it is now. So
yeah. Demon School, Bokura Planet, puzzle adventure game, Wobbly Life.
yeah, Bokura is. I think this is like there was a Bokura that came out last year. I think this is like a sequel where they added a second player. So.
Wobbly Life looks like Gang Beasts or something like that. Looks like crazy physics.
That, or was it Fall Flat or what it was called?
Mm-hmm. Yep, same aesthetic. All right, woo, that was your indie showcase. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Very cozy.
My favorite one was the word game, which you play a game as kanji characters. So
would that be fun?
It's fun to me.
Educational.
Thank you for that cozy showcase.
If you listen to the voice in the trailer, Brand, it sounds like a
I was
Dio.
about to say, I'm
Yeah.
about to say that sounds very reminiscent of somebody I know. Various characters.
Moving along, we got a new round of Game Pass titles for August. This comes from Tom Ivan at VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com. Coming to Game Pass, Rain World, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, Lonely Mountains, Snow Riders, MechWarrior 5, Clans, Orcs Must Die, Death Trap, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Ooh, it's a big get. That's out the 7th. That's out now. Aliens Fireteam Elite and 9 Kings. We 3 Kings must have reproduced into 9. Leaving Game Pass August 15th, so as of this recording, you have about a week to play those. Anthem? Oh, God. Never thought I'd be reading that. Holy shit.
Hey, it's been around longer than you ever thought it would be, right? So
yeah, pretty much.
Right.
It's had long legs somehow.
And then go ahead. I'm sorry.
Farming Simulator 2 and Persona 3 Reload, which I think the Game Pass version also came with a bunch of DLC, like maybe the final chapter of the DLC.
And
actually, it was the season pass or whatever it was.
Oh,
I think
shit.
You could claim it if you had Game Pass.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about on news because we've been here all day, but Night Dive and ID Software did a re-release of remasters for Heretic and Hexen, which is also available on Game Pass now. So.
Oh, I didn't know those are coming to Game Pass. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I mention it, because they are available now. So
I saw it's $15 on Steam because I thought I had one of those 2 titles already, but I didn't.
I had them both. I think I bought them for like $5, and I got the free upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, that is I love when they do stuff like that. Night Dive's really good at doing that. Doom, I think, was one of our last big surprises.
Doom 1 and 2, the completion. Yeah. Where they connected the games. Yeah.
And then Turok, remember you had me playing Turok on the ROG Ally at 120 frames per second just because that came out.
Just because you can. Yeah.
Oh no, I played like 2 hours of it. I was like, I don't think I'm done with Turok. This is not for me. I think I'm done.
The only Turok we need has the gravity cubes.
We do need that one. Bring it to Nintendo Switch Online, you cowards. I thought we had an NSO update. Did I not pull up that story? No.
Oh, no.
We talked about Mario Paint last week. That's what it was. All right, Cesar, you want to knock out your soups de la Nintendo?
Yeah, real quick now. Basically,
this is a good story, though.
Acronix is a Taiwanese manufactures storage products, because right now we're having some issues with chip shortages. Not so much, but the cost of chips are going to go up at some point here.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the primary ROM products for the Nintendo Switch, but they're also for the Nintendo Switch 2. And they have also revealed that they're planning to use both in-house MLC NAND and outsourced 3D NAND to produce cartridges in the future, depending on capacity requirements. So there is a small, and keyword small, chance that there may be more than just one storage size, which is what is available on the Switch, which is the 64 gig ones that could possibly come in the future. Even if that were the case, as Brian has alluded to, it doesn't mean that people will take that route, because if it's still cheaper to do a game key card and those are still available, they're probably still going to do a game key card.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it does give you more
Options there.
variety. Yeah. That hopefully if a game is not more than 32 gigabytes and they do come out with a 32 gigabyte version, which is probably my guess is what they will come out with. That's the only additional one, is probably my guess. That and it's cheaper, they'll pay the little bit more up cost to just do the 32 gig one, just to satisfy people who are outspoken, because we can go in the weeds every day. And I think it's not a surprise that I think, what was it? Matt Piscatella said that 91% of the people on Xbox buy digital. Sony's increased to like 71 or 79% are digital, and then Nintendo's the only one that is at 47 or 49. It's like a little bit over 50%. It's gone up that does digital, if I'm not mistaken. So those are your last holdout, is the Nintendo consoles. So if it is cost economical,
Xbox.
Yeah.
Those numbers.
Well, I mean, Xbox doesn't put anything on disc anyway. And how much of those numbers factor in Game Pass? Because that's all digital.
Yeah. I was just thinking, do those numbers reflect the way that I collect physical media amongst those three, and I would say that's probably pretty accurate. I get first party stuff on Nintendo's platform, and then if there's something third party that I really want to get, and Sony first party, I get it on PlayStation. It's going to be the better way to play, I feel.
Outer Worlds 2 and Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out with physical copies on the Xbox now instead of the digital download codes, but I still don't think that matters unless they actually put on an Ultra HD Blu-ray, because they still use standard Blu-rays. It's still not going to be the full game.
Which is going to be an unlock patch or whatever, like Brant had with Halo Infinite.
Which is just, you're just looking at physical waste at that point. So it's, at that point, just buy digital, in my opinion. Why buy something that's going to take up a shelf and end up in a landfill somewhere at some point when they're not usable anymore? So.
Yeah, I learned my lesson with the Helldivers. I was hell bent on having a physical Helldivers copy, and that game is a live service game, and it's nonstop updated. That disc doesn't mean jack shit, other than now I have to pop something in and update it if I want to play with my friends. I will not be making that same mistake with Battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, Helldivers would be an interesting case if they ever went sideways with that game's mechanics, and I don't think they would, but because at that point, you're like, well, we had the original game on disc, we'll find some way to play it off here instead of like all the random changes they did. So sometimes you get little hidden treasures and gems like that, but that's what it like very, very far few. So hopefully that'll mean something in the future where we'll have a little bit more variety. I think that's what we're looking for. So, like I said, as Brent mentioned, it doesn't mean anything right now. The cost of everything's going up. If it's more economical for them to do key cards, key cards are going to be here to stay until it's cheaper in the next couple of years to make a 64 gig one, and then you'll have people re-release it. And I'm hoping that the Sega's been pretty lenient on letting other third-party publisher or manufacturers publish their games, so hopefully somebody can come through and do complete on card later on, because I think they confirmed that Like a Dragon, Yakuza games that are being re-released on Switch 2, the Kwame ones, are also game key cards have been confirmed. So at that point,
both regions.
That was the last holdout from that third party event. Was like, we weren't sure about these, so now you get the full scorecard. About was only 2 of those were full on card. Everything else was key cards. So
what were those? You remember?
I don't. I got to look at that scorecard again, though. They had it on there, so it wasn't. It was 1 or 2. It wasn't very many out of all that whole 25 minutes announcement. So. Digital, I would say digital waste, but it's just a waste. I mean, that stuff can go bad. At that point, it's useless, and you're just throwing it in a landfill, and it's not going to decompose for like 200 years. So, congratulations. I kind of respect Konami, because Konami did Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters and Survival Kids. I think they came out with game key cards in Japan, and here it was just straight digital. There's no key cards for a US release, so they're like, just do that. Why be coy about it? But we can argue here and there about retail outlets, but it's only a matter of time. So,
are they even still a factor at this point? Like that was the big compelling argument before. But what weight do brick and mortar still carry?
I mean, Nintendo has a store, PlayStation has a store, Xbox has a store. I mean, you can get hardware consoles out there now. Can they handle large orders? Probably not, but within a couple of years, maybe. Buy direct from the manufacturer.
Nintendo did just fine being off of Amazon for what, like 2 years? No Switch Amazon stuff on the world's
in America, at least. In Japan, they were still there. So
they were still there.
Yeah.
All right, is that it for news this week?
Yes, dear God.
Dear God. Brent's like, I picked some easy ones. We talk about it for an hour and a half. Oh, more like an hour. We're good.
Sports games.
I'm gonna be brief. I actually did play something, but I think I mentioned, probably it's been about a year, but Analog is making a Nintendo 64 like FPGA console. So it got delayed. It was supposed to come out in July, but it got delayed to August. But they're partnering with 8BitDo. You can use original controllers, but they're partnering with 8BitDo for a like recreation of the N64 controller with a more modern twist, of course. And that came in. I got one off of Amazon. Comes in black and white, and it still got like the octagon gate key for the analog stick. D-pad feels really good for 2 games that use the D-pad on the 64. It's like Mischief Makers and one other thing. But the D-pad feels really good. I mean, like
Mischief Makers is really good.
Yeah, Mischief Makers is a good game. Like other 8-bit pads, like you can use it on other things, right? So I can use these on other devices, but it feels really good. It's very similar to the Retro Fighters controller that Cesar9 kickstarted, probably about 10 years ago at this point. That was a really good feeling controller, and I think that's a pretty good comparison. You've got Z buttons on both sides. So instead of just having like the one Z trigger on the back, you've got it spread across both sides. It's not like super small like the GameCube. Remember the GameCube purple Z trigger at the top? And then it's got really good shoulder buttons. USB-C charging. I haven't used it on anything, but I'm very excited for that system to come out and plug that thing in and give it a go. Yeah, it's supposed to be this month, but they also released...
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. If our word of the show is not cozy, it's tariffs, and that was what they pointed to, saying that was a delay in getting these produced and brought over. Luckily, they didn't increase the price. Like I've had that locked in for a year or so, but hopefully I'll be able to stream some stuff. They still haven't really detailed what it's gonna do exactly. They hyped some 4K upscaling and that sort of thing. So fingers crossed, it's actually a good product. The only game I've played over the past week, this has been on my list of shame for a while. It's called Enslaved: Odyssey to the West, I think is the full title of it. It's a Bandai Namco game. It's an action-adventure title with Andy Serkis as the main character, like the renowned motion capture.
Gollum?
Yeah, Gollum, as we know him. And he worked with Ninja Theory on, what was that PS3 almost launch title? The girl with the red hair.
Heavenly Sword?
Heavenly Sword. He was also a character in that, so I think he kind of forged a relationship with them, I'm assuming. But he plays a character called Monkey. This is a variant of Journey to the West, the Chinese folklore, which I'm not super familiar with.
What's Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball?
That's also what that is.
Loosely based off of that.
Yeah.
Very loosely.
It's almost like what's the story of Grendel? Beowulf. It's like this old classic tale, right? That just gets retranslated and reiterated on. But you play as Monkey, and you are assisting a character named Trip. She has a much longer name, but she goes by Trip. She's basically enslaved Monkey to help her get to her people. You guys both start off kind of, I think you're enslaved, as a matter of fact, but she has you enslaved also. So you kind of went out of the pot into the fire, but you're on the ship, and Trip breaks you out, kind of with the condition that you can help. Oh, Drawn Grave says Enslaved is a pretty good game for the Steam Deck. I'm playing on the ROG Ally, so I could potentially download on Steam Deck and go back and forth with that. But it plays a little bit like Uncharted, I feel like. Also with some Ico involved, because you have like this person can't die, and she tells you pretty early on. She fits you with a headband and tells you that if she dies, you die, and you can't wander off too far. And there was a glitch in the game. I wish I made a recording of it. You have to work cooperatively. So she's an NPC. She's just AI. So you have to pick her up. And remember when AI just meant like a computer player character back in the day, we would say? Or the AI is like, AI in Halo's really good. They know how to defend the beachhead on that mission in Halo and stuff like that. But so I had to pick her up and throw her over to this other side. And she kind of just kept walking around. And I was like, well, she's waiting for me to drop down here and explore. So you pick up orbs to level up your weapons. Like you have a staff, and you have a shield, and you can you can parry certain attacks and things like that from these robots. You're in this post-apocalyptic Earth. It's actually the United States. There's like flags and stuff everywhere. And she got stuck up there, and I dropped down. I'm collecting these orbs, and then all of a sudden he like starts screaming and grabbing his headband. I was like, what the fuck happened? And I died, and I had to restart like the That's when I learned the checkpoints are bullshit on this game. I had to restart like almost before a boss battle. I was like, holy shit, this sucks. Why'd I have to do this? And she just got hung up like walking around in this little one part that I threw her to, and she didn't follow me down. So it was a lesson learned. And this come out in like 2011, 2012. It was like end of PS3, going
Retro
into
game.
PS4. It is a retro game. It's an old school vintage game I'm playing. Draw and Grave pointed out it runs well on Steam Deck, so it's another good sign of a retro game. Does Dishonored run well on Steam Deck? Do I play the PS3 version of Dishonored on Steam Deck? Oh god, the Dishonored joke goes on forever.
I
Also-
love Dishonored, don't get me wrong, man, but that game is rough on PlayStation 3.
I know it needed that remaster. One of my favorite bits, I have to bring this up because we love the Dishonored one. One of my favorite bits is the baby Brant bit too. I was thinking about this the other day, carrying on about how Brant's like this super youngster.
Oh, sweet baby man. Sweet baby man.
Was he even around 15 years ago and all this sorts of stuff? It's just it's one of the better longer running ones. It just made me laugh the other day. I was like, he's not a baby actually. We carry on like he's this super youngster. That's a good one. But you kind of you're progressing across this world, and you go into set pieces. Like these map areas are like set pieces, and it plays very much like Uncharted. There's a lot of platforming, and you can upgrade a staff, like I was saying, and the staff like shoots missiles at these robots, and it's all about disarming these robots so that Trip can get through. Or Trip, one mission you had to go grab this dragonfly thing that was like a robot dragonfly, and she programmed it to fly through the area that you're about to go to and find mines or see where these sentry guns and things like that are at. So there's just as much puzzle element to it as platforming, and I think that's a lot of fun. And I finally got into some good storytelling, more so than just, you have to help me across here or you're going to die if I die, that sort of thing.
The Great Equalizer. It's like an isekai. Let's just set this as our template for everything.
Mm-hmm. The two characters found a fish tank, and they were marveling at like the ecosystem of the fish tank, where the algae grow, the fish eat the algae, the big fish eat the little fish, and it just kind of the life has like sustained in this area, despite all the death and like doom and gloom and stuff around them, right? And then the fish tank gets blown up in the boss battle, the ensuing boss battle, and she's just like, Trip is like beside herself. Like there was a moment where they're talking about the fish tank and just that it was hopeful and life could carry on, and she's trying to get to her people and that sort of thing. I have no idea what this village is going to be like when we find these people, or if we do, but she's hell bent on getting there, and it's good. It's a really good story. I enjoy the cooperative gameplay. The music, I don't know that I've heard any music really. I can't speak much on that, but the art style is really good. Runs super well on ROG Ally. Like you could max out the settings. You can run that on max, and it's pretty flawless. I've seen some screen tearing in some of the open areas, like when you first get into an area and you pan the camera around, but I think that's just optimization on this game at a certain point, just from that time period. But it's pretty solid. It's Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I think it said Journey to the West before, but that's the Chinese folklore, right? Journey to the West.
Yeah, I mean, that's the US translation of it, but yeah. I think that's how you reference a translated copy and read that book if you wanted to read that book. So that book's like 2,000 pages or something crazy.
Yeah, like a Tolstoy. Brand, are you looking at your copy? Is it Enslaved Odyssey to the West?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There's achievements for it. It's good.
Days Gone.
It's super playable in
Days
there.
Gone.
Days Gone. Brant's. We're not talking about Days Gone, Brant. Stop gazing
it's right next to his
longingly at your copy.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's right. Alphabetical is right next to it.
He's looking at Enslaved and looks over to the left. Oh, Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Talked about Days Gone in a while. It's like my old friend that I always come back to.
Days Gone, Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball, Extreme 2, and then Enslaved. Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls 3, Elder Scrolls 4, Elder Scrolls 5.
Great collection. Elder Scrolls 5, 3 generations.
But that's it for me. A controller acquired and a very good vintage, classic, retro, old school video game? Enslaved.
I know last Saturday, I think it was me, Buish, and Brant played that super secret beta. Don't know how much we can talk about it. I'm not going to risk it.
I think that's pretty much it.
And that's
Super
all I can say.
secret beta. Yeah.
Yep.
Played a thing. It's being played,
thing?
and yeah, it
I-
exists.
Was it a video game?
Maybe.
I can't talk about what it was, but I can tell you I put in an hour in it, and I was like, okay, I can see myself hammering away in this. So they might got something cooking here. So
Yeah, I will admit I got lost in it. I don't think it was something we could have all played.
Bleach
Like
was
how you-
in my area because I just you can't interact with anybody, but Bleach was
Yeah.
adjacent. I was
That's what
Bleach
he was
adjacent.
saying.
Yeah,
but I don't think we could have done the whole like, oh yeah, turn on your cameras and all play at the same, because you're technically offline.
Mhm.
It puts you offline while you play that.
Oh,
Like you're
okay.
online, but you're not visible online
Right.
while you're playing.
Game's hidden. Yeah, like it's not broadcasting what you're playing. It just shows I'm offline. It's not like, oh, Brant put 75 hours in Assassin's Creed 3.
That's
So-
why nobody could find each
Like,
other.
right?
Okay. Because
Yeah.
Bleach was telling me this. He's like, I can't find anybody. They're showing them
I'll leave it-
offline.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully we'll see it at some point. We may or may not. And that's it. I don't, like I said, I'm pretty sure I can't really expound on anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to risk it, so it's not worth
Like
it.
like you, what I did experience was kind of addicting. I was like, okay, yeah, this is something.
Pretty good.
I could definitely sink some time into it. I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, that's it on that front. For whatever reason, this week was like the week of shoot 'em ups. So because we had the Gradius Origins collection, which I did not purchase yet. I did purchase a game called Artheon, which came from limited run on Steam, and I think it's coming to consoles later this year. And that's also in the veins of like Gradius, Super Nintendo-esque 16-bit shooter. Maybe I gotta look it up and see who made it again. I've put a good bit of time into it, and I've enjoyed the time I've been putting into it. But it is made by Ancient, and I want to say it might be like the. See, this is why I should have did the research ahead of time. That would be easier. But it's basically made in the style of like a Sega Mega Drive is what they made it as, and it plays like that. But it's a brand new game that came out in 2025.
Does it sound like it? Has it got that Yamaha FM flavor of
exactly
sound?
that.
Yeah.
It uses limited runs engine. It has the CRT built in immediately because that's the way they have it recommended to be played. And I think this is something that they've done like betas and whatnot over throughout the years. And so they even have a new 8-bit Do Eartheon based Sega Saturn controller that you can order now for limited run.
Ooh.
This is the YK2A, which is some of the ship's names on there that is available now. And essentially, this game is coming to PC now. It's already out. It's Switch, PS4, PS5, Series console, September 2025, digital, and I think the physical copies will be late this year, and then Sega Genesis next year.
Okay.
And
So it's kind of like the Doom port to Super Nintendo that just got released with like a super FX chip in it, making it run much better than it did on Super Nintendo.
so they had the original composer and sound programmer Yuzo Koshiro, who works for HN. He used to work for Neon Falcon, which is the
These people.
Trails people.
Mhm.
And so Ancient's been around for a while. So while he was working at Ancient, to give you some background, he composed the soundtrack for the 8-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog in 91. He adapted several pieces of music from the original 16-bit version to the 8-bit one. He did the soundtrack for Streets of Rage
Oh hell yeah!
1 and 2. He also did Streets of Rage 3. Looks like he did Eye of the Beholder, Beyond Oasis, Legend of Oasis.
Ooh, Beyond Oasis.
He also composed the
throwback.
soundtrack for Shenmue alongside Takanobe Mitsuyoshi. And then he went on to Namco Cross Capcom, and then he continued to work for Sega still by doing those 3DS games. They did the Seventh Dragon series, and he came back for Streets of Rage 4 in 2020.
Oof. Heck yeah.
So he's
It's
still
like 4 decades of output.
yeah. So that music is along
He's a
those
legend.
lines. Yeah. And so he is the composer. He's also the video game developer. It's their company that made this game. So, and it's a standard shoot 'em up. But you have a special attack that's tied to Y, and then you have X as your main attack, as your Y is your sub attack, X is your main attack, and then you can get different power ups so you can kind of swap in and out at different times. And it's a standard as you go across. It doesn't really. It's not like it's more of a like if you're in a throwback, you don't get much story in there outside of what you see in there. It looks like you're fighting some parasites as you go through, other than you're basically, it's like you have to get the story from the booklet type situation. So I'm assuming there would be a booklet in there because that's where it's like the straight 90s. It's like, all right, This is what's happening, and you're this fighter in this doing a counterattack that's somebody's trying to eradicate all humans, and boom, that's your story, right? And so it's not particularly heavy on the. It's not like a hell shooter. So it's not crazy where you have bullets crossing the screen and everything like that. Those hell shooters kind of came a couple years later after the Genesis or towards the late Genesis era, more in the Saturn one. So this one is strictly like if you are a fan of Gradius, Salamander, those type of games, it carries on in those veins. It does play very much like an early Genesis game.
It's not like a Radiant Silvergun or Ikaruga.
Yeah. So
what's the name of this one again? I was trying to look it up.
Eartheon. It's only available on Steam right now. It's coming to the digital stores for everything else in September, and then your physical copies later this year. So it's Earth and then Eon at the end. EION. I think it's $20. So I went ahead and got it because I do like shoot 'em ups. I want to play that Greatest Origin so bad, but I'm going to wait for selling that one.
Holy shit, this looks good.
For whatever reason, I was stuck in my shoot 'em up phase, and then I fired up Axelay on Super Nintendo because for whatever reason, Konami will not re-release Axelay, and that's like all the shoot 'em ups they have on there, they just won't freaking re-release Axelay. And Axelay
be the reason we get it re-released.
I am speaking into existence.
It's happening
because that's why I'm mentioning it. So
they have been releasing a lot of games, a lot of collections. Let's hope.
And so if you don't know what Axelay is another shoot 'em up published by Konami that was supposed to go strictly in Japan, but there was a big campaign in America and Europe to get the game released over here. So it was released in 1992, and I think it has never left the Super Nintendo outside the Virtual Console for the Wii and Wii U in Japan. I don't know if it came out over here. It's the same vein, kind of like gameplay wise of like Life Force, but this game was made by Kazumi Kitawe, who was the head producer of Super Castlevania 4, that he would later go on and leave Konami and form a little company called Treasure. As they made the game called Gunstar Heroes. This is your indication of what this game plays like. It exclusively uses Mode 7 very well as you go and fly out from back to forward.
It's a $100 game.
And it's a very, very beginning of a Treasure game because it's a lot of shit happening on the screen. And I think I've played like an hour and I can't get past the first level because it's so much going on. And it's one of those games that you have to build muscle memory and, as you see stuff, be reflexive and adapt, just like any other Treasure game. And it's like, this is the second mention of a Treasure game because we talked about Makers earlier, which is also a Treasure game. So I think this was officially, before they were Treasure, this is kind of like their first game because after this, they would go off to leave Konami and like I mentioned before, do Gunstar Heroes for Genesis. But essentially, this one you can cycle through with the L and R1 buttons into different. It gives you a main sub and a sub weapon, and they don't last forever. So it's like if you hit there and mash the button, eventually you run out of ammo. There's different ways to pick up ammo as you go through there. You can damage those weapons as you get hit, so it adds more of a depth of difficulty in there. So this one is is definitely a very, very, very difficult game. So
Do not have a physical copy of this.
Yeah, I think it's super expensive. But
it's $100 minimum for Super Nintendo.
That is my games played. I'm gonna go do a little bit better trying to play some old school stuff here and there. For whatever reason, I just when the Greatest Collection came out, I was like, man, I want to play some Axelay. I haven't played Axelay in a long time.
Yeah.
And I threw it in there and played that. So I'm hoping me bringing this out might get this game re-released as they re-release every other shooter in their catalog, but Axelay. But
I watched Digital Foundry's coverage of the Gradius collection, and they left very high remarks on it. High marks. Especially Salamander 3. It's very, very good. And there's even some there was a trade show demo of Gradius 3 that was lost to time. Like it was at a Tokyo trade show of some kind. And M2 somehow reworked that demo. They found it. And it's like a whole different boss. The level layout's different. And they have like the trade show build of that in the game. They don't even highlight it. They didn't do like a Digital Eclipse thing with their living history stuff where they highlight these differences. It's just hidden in the menu, like US version, Japanese version, trade show version. It's just in there as this like, and they just went and recovered all this code and made this game. It's totally different from what the Gradius 3 that we all know and love. And they recovered this trade show demo. It's like, man, this is cool as hell. They need to show this off.
M2 has done what they call the Trigger Shot series for a while, where they just go through and just been porting over like these old shoot 'em ups. And so they've been doing this since like the PS4, early PS4. So it's like they know what they're doing. So
gotcha.
I've bought a lot of them. A lot of them come out in Japan only. So they usually come out with 1 or 2 a year. I've talked about this on this podcast a lot, like Alesta. I've loved shoot 'em ups. So I brought up Alesta before. They did Alesta as well, which was primarily mostly Genesis and Game Gear. They even put the Game Gear versions on there, which is really, really good too.
Damn.
So I have a good bit of shoot 'em ups on the Switch. I have at least 20 collections on there. So there's a lot that came out throughout the years. So
I need to fire up Axelay on the means that I have on original hardware. See what that's like.
But that is it for me. Super mysterious game that I can't talk about. Axelay and Eartheon. So I'll kick it over to Brant.
I'll start off with some games acquired.
Games acquired.
These are just Switch games. I have Chronicles of the Wolf.
Welcome.
Came in.
Great game.
100% looks exactly like what you would think just by looking at the package. And then you look at the back, the screenshots. It 100% looks like Castlevania Bloodlines or something, to that extent.
Spiritual
off the Genesis.
successor.
Very Castlevania-esque looking game. Looks very, very good. Cesar has shown us screenshots and talked about it. It looks like a great game. Next up, something else Cesar has played and talked about a little. Plucky Squire. My Switch copy came in. Looks like a kind of mashup between like Paper Mario meets Legend of Zelda. There's a little screenshot on the back of here where he's like hopping on some letter blocks on a desk or something, a la like Clockwork Knight style. But but no.
Cringe.
Could have won with Puppeteer, but won with Clockwork Knight.
Yeah, no.
Puppeteer?
You could have gone anywhere with that brand.
I just immediately Clockwork Knight jumped into my head. I
Bust
don't know
out
why,
the old Clockwork
Knight.
I
always
sound like Ray. You sound like Ray from Ghostbusters. It's like Stay Puft Man just popped in my head. I just jumped in there for a second.
Popped in there.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to keep my mind clear.
And as far as games plays goes, I actually beat Donkey Kong Bonanza.
All right, roll credits.
An amazing game. Great story. Quick little like turn at the end, which was a great little twist. And then afterward, there is like post game stuff that pops up. and expects you to go. I started doing it, but it's more of like challengey type, extra stuff that kind of goes into your mastery of the different like bonanza transformations. And I did like the first two, and then I was like, I think I'm done. I think I've played enough. I might go back to it and try and finish those up at some point. But I finished the main story. I felt good about it. And I jumped back into my Assassin's Creed. And now I am playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Oh.
Haven't played that much of it yet, though. Just started it probably a couple hours in, if that.
Okay.
So this one, of course, is Edward Kenway, who he's a privateer. He starts out on the ship. Puts you immediately into a naval battle. And there's obviously an assassin character on one of the other ships. But there's huge storm. All the ships wind up going down, sinking, and you and the assassin's character wind up getting marooned on a beach, where he then
that was a good intro. Yeah.
He proceeds to kind of like bribe you and like, hey, I can pay you. I need to get to Havana. And Edward's like, okay, well, yeah, this gold, you got it on you. And he's like, man, you freaking, you pirates, man. He tries to shoot you, but of course his powder has been soaked after that swim in the ocean. So he takes off. You take off after him, eventually killing him. You find a letter on him talking about, come to Havana to claim your reward. So he goes, okay, well, this guy was gonna get, some kind of big reward. I'm gonna take his clothes, because the note alludes to the effect of well, I've yet to meet you, but obviously I'll recognize your clothing, your uniform. So Edward dons the assassin's garb and then proceeds to find on the other end of a sugar merchant that has been kind of taken by some other pirates or something, or some British or somebody's holding him up. So you go over, you take care of that, and talk to the merchant who's got a big shipment of sugar, and you're like, hey, I need to get to Havana. You mind if I hop on your ship? And he happens to be going there as well. He's like, oh, that's great, but my captain, they just killed my captain, so I don't know. And Edward's like, no problem, I can pilot a ship. And you do. I know all of us have talked about this. The sailing is amazing.
Yeah.
In this game.
Best part of that game, easily. I mean, the gameplay is great Assassin's Creed gameplay, but the sailing is phenomenal.
You sail a little bit, just to, enough to ease you into it. Then they put you in Havana, where you start kind of getting your bearings, figuring out what's going on. You meet the governor, and it turns out him and two others, along with who Edward took the place of, are all meeting up, and they're all Templars. The person Edward killed was turning on the assassin and going to join the Templars. So he kind of stumbles into their plot. They're looking for this mythical thing they call the observatory, which would allow them to basically remotely watch and track anyone anywhere at any time. So Edward kind of goes along with this for a minute. They track down a sage, and it's stated that they need the blood of the sage to enter the
observatory.
This observatory, and that's when they take this guy. They're holding him, and then Edward's like, you know what? I was promised a reward. He gave me this tiny bit of money here. This observatory thing, they're really like hyping this thing up. This sounds like it's a big deal. I wonder what somebody would pay for that. So, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna go in there and get this guy. So he sneaks into the mansion, only to find that the sage has already been taken. The Templars show up, see him there, see the sage gone. There's a bunch of murdered guards. Guards swarm him, and they're like, yeah, we know you're not who you say you are. What did you do with the sage? He's like, I just showed up here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is, and y'all are crazy. And so they have him thrown into the brig and shipped off the island. And in mid voyage, you hadn't gotten that far, you look over at the person that you're chained up to, and you're like, hey, let's get out of here. So you and this person break your shackles.
Brig.
You take the ship, and then there's about 4 or 5 others, and you then hop from ship to ship, freeing all the other prisoners and forming a crew, and then you have to outrun this whole barrage of ships.
It's like the Armada coming after you, right?
Yeah, as a damn hurricane's barreling in, and there's like water spouts coming in and huge waves that you're fighting against.
Video games.
Escape. You escape, and there's your title card and everything, and now it's you on the open water. Introduces you into your, crafting, just like the other games. Now you've got to hunt down animals for upgrades, but they do bring back armor upgrades now. You actually there's a reason to do a lot of these upgrades, to where you can get extra armor, which increases your health, and different pistol holsters, things like that. It seems they really refined everything. Every now and then you still get that same Assassin's Creed platforming jank where you get stuck on something and you won't continue to traverse it, or or you might kind of veer off whatever you're on, jump a weird way. But for the most part, it feels a lot more refined.
You know where I'm trying to go.
So,
don't all of a sudden go backwards flying off of the top of this roof. What are you doing?
And I really, really remember this being a showcase when I got the because this was a launch title for the PS4, Xbox One. I remember it really being a showcase for those consoles, and you just feeling like, wow, this is an amazing game. So
a step up.
What are
you playing it on now? Are you still on Switch with these?
Yeah, I'm playing them on Switch just because the
portability.
It's the portability for me. I know some of those Assassin's Creed games were easier to get to play on some of those handheld PCs. It's probably a lot easier on the ROG. I know on Steam there were certain hurdles. I tried to get Assassin's Creed 2 to play, and there was some weird crap, especially with that Ubisoft Connect
the launcher.
BS.
Yeah.
It was it you can get it to work, but it was a hassle, and I got it to eventually boot into the game, but the controls weren't working right, and I was like, nah, no.
Yeah.
I just gave up on it. That was a few years ago, and then now I've got plug and play options that I can, play on the TV and take it out of the dock, play it anywhere. So works for me, man.
Highly convenient.
But that's it for me.
That's it. That's it for you.
That's it.
Let's look real quick and see if we can stream Battlefield.
Yeah, we can. I'm gonna stream it. It's fine.
We can? We're good?
I mean, there's a whole bunch of people streaming on Twitch right now, so.
Okay. No bans for us.
And they have drops enabled, so I'm assuming EA is aware of it. There's drops enabled.
Yeah, and we're totally good.
Oh well, yeah. That's how you got in early. They were doing the beta this week. If you watched people play it, certain people, and you could get the drops or whatever.
You got in
and
what,
then the
like Thursday or Friday or something? Maybe Thursday night.
Then the open beta started this weekend, so yeah, we should be good.
All right, so we'll see you guys over on we got 5 or 6 people with this. We'll see you guys over on the stream. Should start back up in 10ish minutes. We'll be playing some Battlefield 6 open beta.
I mean, I'll go ahead and start it. I might be not sitting there, but I'll go ahead and start the stream.
A good handoff.
People can join us. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week. We will catch you next week. Bye.